Greetings, Noble Knights, and welcome to our first episode of Hero Showcase, featuring Rin, the Dragon Empress. Rin is the fourth and final of the Four Lords. Her passive, Crimson Scales, is her main source of survivability and utility for the team. Crimson Scales provides Rin with a 12 hit count Void Shield, different from traditional Void Shields. Rin's Void Shield will factor in all hits in an attack's animation, compared to, say, Lubu's, which will count all hits as only a single hit, unless stated otherwise in the skill's description. Next is Rin's high % chance to proc the blind status effect on enemies she basic attacks. Combine this effect with her high base speed and she'll usually peck out an eye or two at the start of a fight. Blind is a unique form of CC that has great synergy with Rin. Missed attacks on Rin do not deduct her Void Shield count, and preventing enemies from counterattacking really adds to her survivability. Rin also provides her entire team, including herself, with a 50% bonus to magic damage. This allows players to build a team around Rin and her passive. Overall, while Rin's survivability may be questionable with many of the current heroes possessing a large array of multi-hits, she has the utility to back herself up along with her teammates. Rin's first skill is Draconic Descent, which is undoubtedly her best attack. While the multipliers are low, the main reason why this skill packs a punch is because it ignores the enemy's defense and it always applies crit. This skill makes teams comprised mostly of tanks melt like butter. Rin's second skill is Draconic Wrath. Draconic Wrath has two effects which makes it quite the threat. On top of being an execution skill, which increases in damage based on how many enemies are still alive, the skill introduces a new type of mechanic, which changes the enemy's formation. This is different from Neza's Tsunami skill, which only changes a hero's placement in their formation. To fully utilize Rin's passive and her abilities, she should be built with 2 speed attack weapons, 2 counterattack armors, counter, damage, lethal, and crit damage jewels. The crit damage jewel is an absolutely essential part of her build to make her shine. Because she already has inbuilt CC, it is recommended to avoid additional CC accessories. Applying both a blind and a stun sounds nice, but in reality, it's redundant, and quite a waste of the blind proc. The better option would be to go for more damage, turn reduction to take care of zombies, or the death status effect. Rin works best as a backline damage dealer and should never take the front row seat. Because of her special Void Shield, you want to avoid placing her in positions most prone to multi-hit skills. Being a massive damage dealer, Rin works best when fighting against turtle teams or teams that revolve around Jave. On the other hand, Rin struggles against zombie teams or teams that have basic immunity to damage passives. Rin lacks any form of penetration skills and has no access to any forms of turn reduction. On top of this, zombie teams tend to have Wukong, Teo, and Giprong. All 3 of these heroes are capable of almost instantly removing Rin's 12-hit Void Shield and can't be killed by her easily. Rin works great with Teo due to his survivability and capability of removing damage immunity shields as well as zombies. Spike also works well with Rin for his CC immunity. Since she doesn't build crit, his 40% boost to crit passive helps prevent her basic attacks from being blocked too often. Pair that with his survivability and he makes a great partner. Da Chao is another hero who performs well with Rin. She is able to remove zombies and synergize with Rin's 50% magic damage boost passive. Wukong can also be useful when paired up with Rin. Due to his passive, he can provide extra layers of protection to prevent her from being hit by AoEs. Last but not least, Ace. Thanks to his passive, Supreme Order, it allows Rin to deal tons of damage. Giprong is perhaps the biggest counter to Rin. Once Rin is CC'd, she's completely out of the fight. Giprong's Purifying Aeolus has a very high chance to stun targets and hits a total of 5 times on Rin. On top of this, Giprong has a second ability, Eye of the Storm. Typically, a single Eye of the Storm is all it takes to remove all of Rin's Void Shield hit counters. Additionally, Giprong is a zombie. This means that Rin is unable to kill him and relies on her allies to take care of him for her. Wukong counters Rin for the same reasons Giprong does. However, this is a matchup that Rin has a chance in fighting herself. While one jumbo pole is usually all it takes to take out Rin, or a single split image strike, the same can be said for Rin against Wukong. The only difference is that she has to kill him twice. Eileen is also a popular pick who is capable of shutting down Rin. Celestial Bolt hits a total of 4 times and has a very high chance to electrify enemies. Again, all it takes is 1 CC to take Rin out of the fight. What makes Eileen more threatening from other heroes known for their CCs is that she's quite hard to kill due to being a universal type with a revive. There's a good chance that she'll Celestial Bolt before she dies twice, assuming she's properly built, of course. Overall, Rin has many more counters. Any zombie or hard CC is enough to deal with her. Because of this, she's a hero who is very reliant on her allies. That about sums it up for Rin's Hero Showcase. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like or comment if you want to see more Hero Showcases in the future.